Hi guys, my name's C.L. Creech. I am the author, creator, and publisher of a book called One Last Quest, and I'm reading this book for you guys. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out the previous episodes. If not, you're going to be kind of lost here, or if you can't wait for the next episode, buy my book. Let me know what you think. Guys, we're on chapter 8. Round 1, fight! With 4 people working, it didn't take the group long to gather more than enough firewood for the entire weekend. They had it piled about half the height of the van. Thankfully, there was a lot of wood on the ground, so they didn't have to cut any trees. After they finished, Jackie and Michelle took pity on Danny and helped him finish unloading the van. Between the 5 of them, they brought a lot of stuff for a short weekend. I don't care what the dice says, Jackie said with a smile. We're still a team. We're still family. Hearing Jackie say that brought a smile to both Danny and Michelle's faces. After all, one of the main purposes of this quest was to show that family's always there for you, whether you're blood related or not. While Jackie and Michelle helped Danny, Rick laid some sticks on the ground, creating a circle that he guessed to be roughly 10 feet across. Rick thought it would be a great idea to engage in some combat. Be a good team building exercise. He also pulled out a box he brought that allowed the group to choose their weapons. Each group member chose their weapon except for Jackie, who brought her own. Kelly helped Rick by staying out of his way and feeding a family of squirrels she found nearby. To anyone else, it may have sounded like she was being useless, but Rick knew to that family of squirrels, Kelly was a gift from above. After everything was done, the group gathered around the circle. Michelle explained what they were about to do. Welcome to the Tournament of Greythorne. The tournament will be single elimination. Eliminations will occur based on a 10-point system. You'll score 1 point for a successful blow to your opponent's arm or leg. You'll get 3 points for a hit to the body. Finally, you get 5 points for a shot to the head. It's very important to protect yourself, as you must stay in the circle for the entire match. If you leave the circle, it's considered a forfeit. You must only make contact with your weapon, no punching or kicking. Do we all agree to that? Everyone nodded and turned their heads toward Kelly. Kelly was mostly nonviolent, but they knew her hatred from Danny could get a bit aggressive. Yeah, whatever, Kelly said. I'll randomly roll for first round matchups, Michelle continued. The 2 winners face off in the finals. The winner of the tournament, Rick added, wins the right to face the beautiful Lich Queen for control of all Greythorne. Michelle blushed slightly at being called beautiful before continuing. I'll serve as referee for the first tournament. My word will be law and will not be questioned. We'll randomly determine the referee for the final battle. Or we'll randomly roll to determine the referee for the final battle. Now, is everyone ready? Everyone raised their weapons to the air, screaming, "Ready!" The whole tournament idea brought out the game master Michelle. She began to feel a confidence that she hadn't felt in years. For the first time in a long time, she wasn't afraid to have fun and just be herself. Michelle rolled a 20-sided die and created the tournament brackets. She felt that picking the brackets randomly was the only fair way to do it. Will the first 2 competitors step up to the combat circle and introduce themselves and their chosen weapon? Michelle said loudly. Each person chose to play as their character from the game. Their weapon would tie into their character's history. Rick was the first to walk up. He was holding a roughly 6-foot staff. I am Lorik, Rick announced proudly. I'm a human wizard who serves as second in command of the Great Wizards Guild in the proudest city of Galandor. My weapon of choice for this great tournament is the Flaming Staff of Might, which was bestowed upon me by my grandfather upon entering the guild. Everyone clapped for Rick as Jackie walked up to the circle from the other side, holding a very large double-headed axe. I'm Ugug, Jackie exclaimed. I'm an orc warrior from the clan Grog. My weapon is a great axe that I hand-forged from the skull of a gold dragon, which I slew with my bare hands. Once again, everyone clapped. Fighters, please enter the circle, Michelle said loudly as Rick and Jackie stepped in and began circling each other. On my command, Michelle said. Fight! Rick and Jackie slowly walked up to each other with their weapons in a ready position. Each showed grit and determination upon their faces. Don't worry, Jackie, Rick said with a smirk. I'll take it easy on you. Good, Jackie exclaimed, using her axe to sweep Rick's legs out from under him. Rick landed on his back with a thud. 1 point, oog! Michelle yelled. It'll just make it easier for me to win, Jackie yelled. Jackie swung her axe down toward Rick's chest. Rick barely managed to get his staff up in time to block the blow. Rick used the opportunity to knock Jackie's axe away and land a blow to the side of her face, earning himself 5 points. Jackie staggered backward with a very angry look on her face. Rick immediately regretted his decision. He's about to die, Kelly said grimly to herself. He's gonna die, Danny said to himself. He's dead meat, Michelle whispered. I am so dead, Rick said to himself with fear in his voice. I'm gonna kill you! Jackie screamed at Rick. Rick stumbled back to his feet very hastily. Jackie rushed forward, using her axe to hit Rick's staff so hard that it knocked it completely out of the circle. Jackie then landed several hard blows to Rick's body and head, knocking him to the ground. Jackie then dived on top of him to continue her attack, as the other three rushed over to pull her off Rick before she did kill him. Fight over, Michelle asked. Oog wins. Jackie backed up, pushing everyone away and trying to catch her breath, saying, What was the score? Michelle lost track of in all the mayhem, but she knew Jackie scored way more than 10 points. 40, Michelle began to say. Jackie cast Michelle an angry look. Nope, Jackie exclaimed, interrupting her. 60 to 5, Michelle asked after thinking for a moment. Jackie let out a sly and almost evil grin. That's better, Jackie said before walking out of the circle, yelling, Yeah! Rick laid on the ground for a moment, trying to figure out exactly what happened. He may be a wizard, but there was not enough magic in all the realms to calm Jackie when she got mad. Last time I got hit like that, I was refereeing a junior league soccer game, Rick said as he slowly got up and stumbled across the circle. Rick walked over to grab a bottle of water and enjoy the next match. Next fight, Michelle said. Danny walked up to one side of the circle holding a mace. Kelly walked up on the other side holding a small dagger in each hand. Why do I have to do this with him? Michelle asked, pointing at Danny. Sorry, it was a random draw, Michelle replied. Danny turned toward Michelle. Yeah, I can't hit Kelly. I'm in love with her. Danny's words brought a wave of anger in Kelly that made her face immediately turn red. You know what? Kelly said harshly. Let's do this. I'm Vorash, a wood elf druid. It's my mission to protect the wood and all things natural. I dual wield the daggers of the Forgotten Forest, which were forged for me by the great tree spirits of Xandar themselves. Our love was natural. Why didn't you protect it then? Danny said with a tear in his eye. Kelly's face became red with anger. We'll see how naturally my daggers fit into your skull, Kelly said, becoming even angrier. Danny took a moment to collect his thoughts before introducing himself. Fine, I'm Karg, dwarven cleric. I'm on a quest to heal and bring peace to the world. I use the Mace of Enlightenment. It was given to me by an angel after I almost fell to my death at the cliffs of Hershey. With the introductions completely complete, Michelle motioned for both competitors to step in the circle. This should be fun, Rick said to Michelle, who nodded in agreement. Fighters ready? Michelle exclaimed as Danny and Kelly stepped in the circle. Kelly immediately began circling Danny. She couldn't wait to get her hands on him. She was ready to inflict pain and damage upon her former lover. Fight! Michelle yelled. Danny was very apprehensive about fighting Kelly. This allowed Kelly to walk straight up to him, kick him in the groin with all of her might. He immediately fell to the ground, grabbing his groin in pain. I said no kicking! Michelle yelled. I'm gonna have to disqualify you. Danny laid on the ground for a moment, with his hands covering his crotch. His face was red with pain. No! Danny screamed as he slowly stood up. It's fine! It's only a flesh wound. I can continue. It's up to you, Michelle said reluctantly. Continue. Before Danny could take a ready position, Kelly walked up, kicking him in the groin again, knocking him back to the ground. Michelle walked over, looked down at Danny with concern. Danny was once again holding his crotch in pain. Do you want to keep going? Michelle asked him. Yep, I'm good. Danny said, trying to stand up with obvious pain in his voice and tears in his eyes. Michelle retreated out of the circle. Continue. Kelly ran up to Danny once again, trying to kick him in the groin. This time Danny was expecting it and sidestepped out of the way. In doing so, he landed a solid blow across her chest with his mace. How could you do that? Kelly asked in surprise. Danny felt horrible for what he'd just done. He'd gotten caught up in the moment. Danny loved Kelly with all his heart and would never hurt her intentionally. His heart immediately dropped. I'm so sorry, Danny screamed. That really hurt, Kelly replied in pain. I'd never hurt you on purpose, Danny said sincerely. I thought you loved me, Kelly asked deceptively. I do love you, Danny said, more than anything. Danny dropped his mace at his feet and walked over to embrace Kelly. He just wanted to comfort her and take her pain away. As soon as Danny put his arms around Kelly, she pushed him back with her shoulder, hitting him in the head with each of her daggers. Headshot, she screamed as she landed the blows, and headshot. Danny backed off in surprise. Vorash wins, Michelle said loudly. 10-3. Of course I did, Kelly said with a smile. Kelly kicked Danny in the groin one last time before walking out of the circle. Kick must have been harder than before because Danny fell backward with such fury that he backflipped out of the circle. His face was now redder than it had ever been. Are you okay? Michelle asked as she walked over to check on Danny. I'm good, Danny said in a very high-pitched voice. 'Tis but a flesh wound. The final round was set. Ugug would face Vorash. There was almost an excitement in the air. Who would be crowned champion of Greythorne and fight the mighty Lich Queen? Everyone was eager to find out. Well, except for Danny. That is, who was more concerned with finding his marbles. It's the end of Chapter 8, guys. I hope you're liking what you're hearing so far. I'll be doing this through the entire month of June. Come back tomorrow. We're going to start on Chapter 9, the Champion of Greythorne. We're going to find out who wins between Ugug and Vorash and gets to fight the mighty Lich Queen. What do you guys think? Come back and find out. See you guys then.